We are back on the record at 1:04.
Were you able to find a bite to eat?
Yes, ma'am. It was very good.
Are you ready to continue?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We were talking about some investigation that you'd done and discussions that you'd had with people before the break. You remember that? One thing I didn't ask you to close the loop on it, the lady you can't remember in Lakeway, is there any note or record that might jog your memory about who that was?
It was just, I went over there and sat in her office and talked to her. I didn't keep notes or anything.
How did you find her?
I don't remember where I got the name or it was somebody referenced her to me, everything, because she was in Central Texas, had dealt with Central Texas Airport.
What did you know about how many airport property transactions she'd been involved with, if any?
Just somebody told me she dealt with the airports in Lakeway or Largo Vista.
Okay, but you didn't know whether she'd been involved in even a single transaction, is that right?
Just somebody said she knew something about it, that's all.
Do you remember who told you that?
No. So.
The other person that you talked about, but whose name you can't remember, from Lampasas?
Yeah.
Did he have an airport in Lampasas?
He was an airport developer, Central Texas, a small airport developer.
A guy who comes in and does the runways and everything?
Everything. Well, no, mostly built hangars. Mostly just built hangars.
How many hangars had he built?
From what I understood, he'd built quite a few.
How many hangars did he tell you he built?
I didn't ask him that.
How many hangar lots had he purchased?
I don't know.
How many real estate transactions involving airport property had he been involved in?
I don't know the number.
Do you know even one?
No.
Aside from the kind of bad experience apparently that Kenny Dryden had at the Windermere Air Park, did you know whether Kenny Dryden had been involved in any other airport transactions?
No, he actually, from what I understood, was basically a real estate agent in Austin, everything. But for some reason, one of the previous board members, Bill Ernest, had recommended him, and he was somewhere or another got involved in it.
So, if I understand you correctly, so far as you know, that one kind of unsavory transaction that Mr. Dryden described to you was the only one that he had ever been involved with that included airport property, is that right?
Well, I think airport property in Windermere. I don't know if he had involved in airport property somewhere else.
And that's kind of my question is, when you were talking to him about all of these things, is it fair to say that so far as you knew, his only experience with airport property was the one transaction in Windermere?
As far as I know, that was his only transaction in Windermere. I'm not sure of his experience outside of Windermere.
You don't know of any experience that he had outside of Windermere, do you?
But there again, I wasn't the one that was mainly interfacing with him to begin with. I just went by to ask him after, what his experience had been.
I understand. I just want to make sure that the rest of us understand that when you were asking him about his opinion, the only frame of reference Mr. Dryden had, so far as you knew, was the single transaction in Windermere. Is that correct?
As far as I knew.
Okay. He certainly didn't boast that he'd been involved in other airport property transactions, did he?
Not to me.
Okay. By the way, did you happen to mention to Mr. Dryden that the water supply company property was unrestricted and that he would not need to deal with the airport people that he had dealt with before?
No.
Was that your understanding, that the water supply company property was unrestricted and that a purchaser would not be required to deal with the airport people? Or did you know one way or the other?
What now? I don't guess I understand what you're saying.
Well, you remember that you told me, because you told me when you talked to Mr. Dryden that he had a bad experience with the airport people.
He had not had a good experience dealing with this lot and being able to sell it.
Okay. And here's my question is, were you aware that the water supply company property didn't have an obligation to deal with the airport people?
I guess so. I mean, are you saying that the property, the 11 acres we're talking about, that whoever purchased the 11 acres didn't have to get approval from the airport to do whatever they wanted to on that?
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And you knew that?
Yes.
And they didn't, purchaser wouldn't need to get or to pay assessments and other things in the airport. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Did you tell that to Mr. Dryden?
Well, I wasn't. Mr. Dryden is not the one out. He had been basically interfacing with Bill Ernest over the transaction of the real estate. I just went to ask him his opinion of the area.
And so, just so we're clear, when you asked him his opinion, you didn't share with him that this particular property didn't have restrictions on it, right?
No, I didn't talk to him about that.
And you didn't share with him that this particular property didn't have an obligation to deal with the Pilots Association, right?
No.
You didn't share with him any specifics about this property, is that right?
No.
Objection form.
I think they're right to ask you a bad question. Did you share with him any specifics concerning the Exhibit 6 property?
No.
Okay. I went back through the minutes as far as I could that are posted on the website, and I found no mention in any minutes of any potential issue regarding the back part of the Exhibit 6 property. Does that surprise you?
Objection form.
I don't remember discussing it in a meeting.
In an open meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as you know, that topic was not discussed in an open meeting, correct?
Objection form.
I'm not sure.
Well, if it was, it should be reflected in the minutes, correct?
Objection form.
Well, I guess if it was discussed in a meeting, it ought to be in there.
If the topic of a holding tank that needed to be filled and certified were discussed in an open meeting, you would expect that to be reflected in the minutes, would you not?
Objection form.
Objection form.
I would guess, yeah.
You're not aware of any open meeting where that topic of a holding tank that needed to be filled and certified was discussed, are you?
Objection form.
Objection form.
If there had been a discussion in an open meeting about a need for 3 to 5 feet of fill across the entire property, you would expect that to be reflected in the minutes, wouldn't you?
Objection form.
Objection form.
I guess.
Are you aware of any open meeting where that topic of any need for fill was discussed?
I'm not aware of one.
So that I can be sure that I understand, in the investigation that you did prior to the time of the Dana Martin Friendship Homes transaction, you did not consult with any engineer, is that right?
Objection form.
Objection form.
Other than George Burris.
Right. We're not sure if Mr. Burris is an engineer. I'll get to the bottom of that. You did consult with George Burris, and you've told us about that, right?
Yep.
Okay. You did not consult with any surveyor about the Exhibit 6 property prior to the Dana Martin Friendship Home transaction, is that
Check
right?
form.
Objection form.
I don't think so.
That is, did you seek to have a survey done of some or all of the Exhibit 6 property?
I don't recollect that. I think there was a survey done at one time, but I can't remember exactly when it was done.
Did you seek to have a topographic map, a slope map, contour map done with regard to any of the Exhibit 6 property?
No.
Did you seek to have any other sort of study done of the condition of the property by a licensed professional?
No.
You did not undertake to have an appraisal done, did you, in connection with the Exhibit 6 property prior to the Martin Friendship transaction?
Check form.
Objection form.
You'll have to answer out.
No.
Thank you. You did not consult with a land planner prior to the time that you, prior to the time of the Martin and Friendship transaction concerning the Exhibit 6 property, did you?
Object form.
Objection form.
And the board did not engage a real estate professional to put any of the Exhibit 6 property on the market, correct?
No.
Let me ask that another way. Did the board engage any real estate professional to put any of the Exhibit 6 property on the market prior to the Martin Friendship transaction?
No.
Did you, in the course of your investigation, try to determine what prices property had commanded within the Windermere Air Park area?
Yes.
What did you do to determine that?
I looked at MLS. I looked at the information on the appraisal district. I researched it like I've done other properties.
What sales did you find?
I don't remember offhand.
Were you able to find out selling price information?
On some properties, yes.
Did you make some calculations to try to extrapolate that information to be informative to you concerning the Exhibit 6 property?
Well, there again, when you're doing an appraisal or analysis of property prices, you have to compare like-to-like properties. And so, as that property there is what we refer to as raw land, it was not applicable to certified lots in the airport.
Do you think that what was conveyed to Friendship Homes was unplatted raw land?
Yes.
And that was the basis upon which you made your decision concerning its value?
Yes.
Do you recall any of the transactions that you investigated when you were trying to determine a value?
I don't remember offhand. I mean, I went to the current MLS. I looked at land sales that had happened over the last year to two. And I went to the appraisal district and looked at prices they had and compared it.
And again, did you make any calculations that kind of helped you get to a conclusion?
Well, I did make some calculations. I mean, when I looked at different properties, I looked at what they had sold for, what they'd been listed for, and sort of compared it.
But you can't remember what properties it was?
No.
What was your conclusion, if you recall?
Well, as I remember, when you were talking about finished properties, they would have sold for more, but you have to look at unfinished properties. And that's what I basically looked at. And the unfinished properties that I looked at that had sold as I remember, were basically within the 10 to 30,000 an acre property bags.
When you say unfinished properties, can you tell us what you mean?
Well, when you look at that plot there and you see a hangar on there, each hangar is sitting on a finished property that has been leveled out, has been surveyed, has had utilities run to it. It's just like you go in the city of Austin and you buy a lot in the city of Austin. You can't really compare a lot in the city of Austin to a lot out in the country that doesn't have any amenities. And so it's the difference between a finished lot and an unfinished piece of property.
Do you mean platted versus unplatted?
Platted versus unplatted, also finished off, ready to build on, everything.
Do you have any records from which we could determine what you looked at when
No.
you compared these things?
I don't.
Let me show you Exhibit 11, which are a set of the minutes for April 23rd, 2011, that the water supply company kindly provided me. I know that you were not on the board at that time, but you were a member, right? You were not on the board at the time of this meeting, but you were a member
Yes.
of the water supply company, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When you have a chance to take a look at those, you let me know. Have you had a chance to take a look at those? Okay. I want to direct your attention to the discussion that begins at the bottom of the first page concerning the Spicewood Pilots Association. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And it says SPA has retained Mr. Gary Young. Did you know Gary Young?
No.
Okay. And it says that SPA has expressed an interest in purchasing 7 acres near the wastewater treatment plant. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you have any idea what 7 acres the Pilots Association had some interest in?
Do I what?
Do you have any idea which 7 acres the Pilots Association had some interest in?
No.
If you turn the page, you'll find a motion was made by Pat Mulligan. Do you know him?
Yes.
Who is Pat Mulligan?
He was past president of the Water Association.
Was he the president before you?
Yes.
Okay. And this, the minutes say that the motion by Mulligan is that it would be in the best interest of WOWSC stockholders that we sell the 7 acres to offset the cost of the new wastewater treatment plant. Do you see that?
Yes.
And that's consistent with what you understood before you came on board, that that was the purpose for which this property was being sold, right?
Yes.
And it says below, motion carried, it says the board agreed that we had a fiscal responsibility to our shareholders to A, determine the fair market value of this property, and B, obtain the best possible price by exposing the property to more than one buyer. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you agree that that is part of the board's duty to the members of the water supply company?
Object form.
Objection form.
Well, what do you mean by duty?
Okay, responsibility then. I'll use the word that's used in these minutes. Do you agree that the board has a fiscal responsibility to the shareholders, I'm going to say members because that's what they are, to determine the fair market value and obtain the best possible price for the property that it sells?
Object
Objection
form.
form.
I'm not so sure that I can say the board. I mean, I think you need to get the best possible price, but I don't think, it's from what I understand, the board doesn't legally have a responsibility to do that.
Who told you that?
Object form.
Objection
Did someone tell you that?
We asked one time for a legal opinion if we had to list the property, and we were told no.
Did anybody ever suggest to you that the board was not required to market the property?
Object
Objection
form.
form.
It did. What now?
Well, let me back up a minute. What were the circumstances under which the board requested a legal opinion about whether or not it had to list the property?
Form.
The question was asked at a board meeting if we had to list the property for sale, and we asked for a legal opinion. We were told we did not have to.
Got it. What prompted the inquiry? What raised the issue?
I think it was just a question of whether or not we had to or not.
Somebody just out of the blue wanted to know off the cuff, did you have to list it?
Objection form.
Object form.
I don't remember the exact discussion.
Do you remember when it was?
It was during the process of selling it.
It was in connection with the Dana Martin Friendship Homes transaction?
Object form.
I can't remember who it was before or after.
Did a board member ask the question in connection with the Martin and Friendship contract or closing? Did the board have a duty to list the property?
Object form.
Objection form.
I don't remember if it was before or after. I know the question was asked, but I don't remember if it was before or after.
And are you telling us that you don't know whether that question was asked because of the Martin Friendship transaction?
Object
Objection
form.
form.
Like I said, I don't remember the exact timing of the question.
Did anyone on the board make any kind of an inquiry before the Martin Friendship transaction about whether it was appropriate to approve a contract or to implement a transfer of property to Martin or Friendship without ever having put the property on the market?
Object
Objection
form.
form.
Like I said, I don't remember if it was before or after.
Was that the inquiry,
Object form.
or was it just had to do with the listing agreement?
Objection
Object
form.
I don't guess I understand your question.
You told me the question was asked, do we have to list the property?
Somebody asked that
Object
question.
form.
So was the inquiry, do we have to list the property before we can sell it to Dana Martin and Friendship Homes?
Objection
form.
form.
Like I said, I don't remember if it was before or after that.
Was the question raised, not specific to listing, was the question raised before the Martin Friendship transaction? Do we have a duty to market the property before we sell it to Dana Martin and Friendship Homes?
Object
Objection
form.
form.
I think I've answered that. I said I don't remember exactly if it was before or after.
Do you believe that there was an opinion of counsel to the effect that the board was not required to put the property on the market before it sold the property to Martin and Friendship?
Objection form.
I've answered that. I said that the question was answered whether or not we need to list the property to sell it. And the attorney told us that we did not have to list the property to sell it.
And I'm asking what to me is a little bit broader question. And my broader question is, was there any opinion that suggested that the board was not required to put the property on the market at all before selling it to Martin and Friendship?
Objection
Objection
form.
form.
The response we got from legal was that we did not have to list the property to sell it.
Okay. Was that Zeppa? Mark
Yes.
Zeppa?
Yes.
By the way, it does not appear to me that Mark Zeppa was involved at all in the Martin Friendship Homes transaction. Do you recall one way or the other?
Objection form.
Objection form.
No.
Do you recall whether he drafted any of the documents or reviewed the contract or had any involvement like that in the Friendship Martin transaction?
Objection form.
Objection form.
I believe we had the transaction looked at, but I don't remember exactly when.
Is it fair to say that you would not have considered yourself qualified to handle a transaction of this magnitude without the help of an attorney?
Oh, yeah.
Objection
Objection
form.
form.
I'm sure he looked at the legal documents and the transaction and everything like that before we did it.
Okay. My question is just a tiny bit different, and I just need to get it out there and then see if we can get an answer to it. My question is it fair to say that you would not have considered yourself qualified to manage a transaction such as the Martin Friendship transaction without the assistance of an attorney?
Objection form.
Yes.
Okay. I have never met Ms. Martin, but I'm told that she is one of the most active real estate agents in the Windermere Air Park area. Do you know her as such?
Yes.
Did you ask her in the early summer of 2015 when you were investigating and talking to people, did you ask her to tell you what transactions had occurred in the air park or in that area?
Not that I know of.
She would have been a great source of information, don't you think?
Objection form.
She might have been, but I'm usually knowledgeable of how to look at transactions and how to find past sales.
Okay. Did you at any point speak with Ms. Martin about other transactions in the Spicewood Airport area?
Not that I remember.
Did you ever visit with her about how she determined the offering price that she came up with?
No.
What was the offering price that she came up with?
As I remember, the offering price was, I think it was right at about $200,000 without realtor fees. Whereas if you looked at it, if you had listed it and sold it with a realtor or anything like that, when you consider your closing cost and everything else, the actual price per acre may have been close to $60,000 or $65,000. But since we took out, we didn't have to pay any closing costs or anything like that, we cleared, I think, slightly over 50.
The water supply company got $200,000 in exchange for what it transferred in the Martin Friendship deal. Is that right?
Yes,
And not a penny more.
I think that's right.
Do Do you believe that was the best price obtainable for that property?
Objection form.
At that time, yes.
Do you believe that you had taken the steps that would have been reasonable and appropriate to expose the property to the largest market of buyers available?
Objection form.
We didn't take any steps to list it, if that's what you're saying.
Well, you didn't take any steps to put it on the market at all, right?
Objection form.
Yeah.
And my question is, do you really believe that that was a reasonable approach, that not putting it on the market was a reasonable approach to the end of obtaining the best price available?
Objection form.
Yes.
Have you tried to determine after the fact whether the price was appropriate or not?
I haven't done any further research.
Let me show you Exhibit 12, which is a deed to some other property in the Windermere Air Park. Do you see that that's a sale transaction that occurred in February of 2013?
What is the exact price?
$185,000.
Okay.
You can see that that's not platted property, right? That's acreage.
I'm just not that familiar with the piece of property.
Oh, I understand, but you can see from the deed that what's transferred are not platted lots. It's 1.415 acres, right?
Objection form.
Objection form.
Does the deed convey platted lots?
Objection form.
Objection form.
Does the deed convey platted lots?
Objection
Objection
form.
form.
Don't see that.
Okay. Do you know, at a purchase price of $185,000, you can figure out pretty quickly what that works out to on a per foot or per acre basis, right?
Objection form.
Objection form.
Yes.
Is this a sale that you took into account when deciding what the price ought to be in the Martin Friendship transaction?
I don't remember what all they were.
Do you know how much money the $200,000 price works out to on a per square foot basis
Not on.
for the property conveyed to Friendship?
Objection form.
Objection form.
I'll represent to you that the Van Tree sale that you're looking at a purchase price of $185,000 works out to $3 a square foot. Do you know what that $3 a square foot would yield if applied to the property that Dana Martin and Friendship Homes acquired?
Objection form.
Not offhand.
I'll represent to you that when that property was sold, it had no improvements. It now does have a hangar on it, but it didn't at the time. Is there any reason why you would reject looking at that as some indication of what airport property sells for in the Windermere area?
Objection form.
Well, I mean, I think it's something that y'all look at, but at the same point in time, from the plots you have, I can't ascertain exactly what the property is, everything, and I'd have to look at it in more detail.
And I'm understanding from what you're telling me that you simply can't recall whether this is something that you did look at.
I can't recall.
In all events, the board did not require a purchase price from Martin and Friendship equal to $3 per square foot, did it?
Objection form.
I don't think so.
Let me hand you Exhibit 13. Do you recognize that as a plat of some property that was owned by the water supply company right at about the time you came on board as the president?
Well, it's 2015.
May 2015, yes, sir, but you can confirm that when you look at the plat that is Exhibit 13.
Yes.
It was the water supply company that platted Tract G, right?
Objection form.
Objection form.
I guess, I don't know for sure.
There's a little block in the upper right-hand corner of the plat that says who the platter is. Can you see from that who is platting the property?
Where'd you say?
In the upper right-hand corner, it's the place where I'm pretty sure it's Patrick Mulligan signed it.
Oh, yes, okay.
Do you see that now?
Yeah,
Patrick Mulligan, the president of the board before you,
yeah,
signed a plat for Tract G.
okay,
And that plat is Exhibit 13, right?
yes,
Okay. So Tract G is, it was at the time water supply company property. Is that correct?
I think so.
Do you recall that the reason Tract G became surplus is because utilities were rerouted when the wastewater plant was moved?
Objection form.
I don't remember, I don't know,
You just don't know why Tract G freed up for sale?
no.
Let me show you Exhibit 14, which is the deed that was given when Tract G was sold. Do you see that? It's conveying Tract G. And it's dated May 15, 2015. Well, never mind. If they don't let you see it, you can't very well answer a question about it. We'll wait a minute. The date of the deed is May 15, 2015, right?
Yes.
Which was give or take 6 months before you did the deal with Martin and Friendship, right?
Yes.
Do you know what amount of money the water supply company received for Tract G?
I don't remember.
It received $95,000, according to the Form 990 that has your name on it. Does that ring a bell?
Objection form.
Objection form.
Is this the lot that Bill Ernest had been working with him on?
I believe that Dana Martin was working on it, but I'm the lawyer. I don't have the personal knowledge, so can't help you there.
I mean, May 15th was in my early part of it and everything, so I don't remember the details on
Right, but it was water supply company, it was a sale of water supply company property, right?
it. Yeah.
Which is squarely in the bailiwick of the board of directors, right?
Objection form.
And that's exactly the kind of thing that the board of directors is supposed to be managing and paying attention to, correct?
Objection form.
Okay.
If the Form 990 reports sales proceeds of $95,000, do you have any reason to think that that's not reliable?
I guess so.
You've referenced at one time or another, and in fact, maybe even in your email, we could look if we needed to, that you knew that there'd been a sale of water supply company property in 2015. Do you remember that?
Well, if we're talking about the property that Bill Ernest was working with him on, I think.
I don't know of another sale of water supply company property in 2015. Do you?
No.
I'm not going to take the time to look for it now, but when we take a break, I'll go back and find your email. The property that Bill Ernest was working on, was it in the airport?
Yes.
What did it sell for?
I don't remember.
Do you remember where it was in the airport?
I don't remember the address. I think if you look off the extra.
If we take Exhibit 6, will it help you to kind of orient yourself and maybe show us where that property is?
I think it was down here somewhere. But I'm
So
not sure.
down around Sky King?
I think so.
Okay. Was that property that was owned by Spencer Mann, maybe?
I don't know.
Okay. First off, the deed to Tract G, Exhibit 14, gives us the square footage, right, of the tract?
It was 7,457.
And we could figure easily what the sales price, $95,000 per square foot, would be for that, right?
Check form.
Objection form.
Can you ballpark it?
Check form.
Objection form.
Objection form.
I can't think of it. What would it be?
Calculator says it's $12.74, but we can always check my math. Does that look right? About right?
Objection form.
Objection form.
Yeah.
You've done this before, right? You know what this calculation is, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I'm wondering is, when there was a sale of water supply company property within the airport within 6 months of the Martin and Friendship transaction for more than $12 a foot. Why would the board not rely on that in evaluating a proposal for Martin to pay less than $1 a foot?
Objection form.
I'd have to look at this property. I don't know exactly where this property is.
You could spit on it from the Exhibit 6 property. In fact, you can see it on Exhibit 6.
Objection form.
Objection form.
But isn't this a finished lot?
It's a platted lot. Yes, sir, it's a platted lot. There was nothing on it.
Right.
It's a platted lot. Do you not recall that the property that Dana Martin received, that Friendship Homes received? Did you make any distinction, by the way, between Dana Martin and Friendship Homes?
Objection form.
What do you mean distinction?
Did anybody else ever come up to you and say, I'm so-and-so and I represent Friendship Homes, I'm its vice president or somebody?
No.
Was the only person that you ever dealt with concerning Friendship Homes Dana Martin?
Yes.
Okay. Did you make a distinction between Dana Martin and Friendship Homes
Objection form.
when you dealt with them?
Objection form.
Objection form.
No.
Okay. I lost my train of thought. Let me go back and find out the question that I interrupted myself when I asked. Get closer. Yeah. I got off track. Do you not recall that the property that Friendship Homes Dana Martin received in May of 2016 was platted lots?
What now?
There was a plat. Do you not recall that there was a plat that was filed by Dana Martin and processed by Dana Martin in the name of the water supply company for the land that she wished to acquire? Do you remember that?
Sure.
No.
Objection
Objection
form.
form.
Let's see if I brought one with me. Thought I had, but, oh, yes, I did. No, I didn't. Here we go. I thought it had your name on it. That's why I was kind of surprised, but maybe it doesn't. Give me a second to get a hold of it. Here we go. Sorry about that. Hard to keep all my papers straight. Let me show you what I've marked as Exhibit 15, and I apologize again for having to throw that at you.
Okay.
We'll let them look, and then we'll get it back to you. That is this recorded subdivision plat for Tract H on Piper Lane. Do you see that?
Yes.
And that may not be your signature, but there is a signature block for Robert Mebane, president, up in that upper right-hand corner. Do you remember where we saw Patrick Mulligan on Tract G?
Yeah.
Do you see up in that upper right-hand corner is a signature block for Robert Mebane, president, 424 Coventry Road, Spicewood, Texas, to sign on behalf of Windermere Oaks Water Supply Corporation?
Yeah.
Is that your signature?
Yes.
So you signed this plat. on March 3rd of 2016 is what it says. Is that right?
Right.
Who brought this plat to you for signature?
I'm not sure. Carrie Gibson also signed it, so
She notarized your signature. Yes,
Yeah.
sir, she did.
I don't know exactly who, I don't remember exactly who brought that to me.
Well, did you go over to Burnett County Commissioner's Court or Burnett County offices to sign it?
I don't remember.
What was the purpose for the subdivision plat of Tract H on Piper Lane?
I don't know.
It wasn't your idea, was it?
I don't remember.
If the minutes of the Commissioner's Court at Burnett County reflect that Dana Martin was the person who was over there processing this subdivision plat, would that surprise you?
No.
And the recording information on it, let's see if we can find that. To see if we could tell when it got recorded. We can see there it is, right in the middle. Hard to find sometimes. Little print. Can you see right in the middle where it says filed and recorded? See, it's hard to see. Right in squarely in the middle of the thing.
Okay.
Filed and
Yeah.
recorded. Are you with me?
Yeah.
It says March 8th, 2016. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Does this refresh your memory then that the property that Martin and Friendship acquired was platted into hangar lots before it was conveyed?
Object form.
What do you mean?
This is a plat.
Yeah.
Do you know one way or the other whether Tract H1 and Tract H2 are the land that Dana Martin received?
Object form.
Yes, that's a property, but I don't think they're hangar lots.
Okay, what do you think they are?
They're tracts of land. They're not subdivided and developed.
Well, how much more subdivided would you like for them to be than they are in Exhibit 15?
Object form.
I mean, it's 2 tracts of land, but I don't really consider that being subdivided.
What do you think that Tract G was before the subdivision plat that Mr. Mulligan signed?
Object form.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a tract of land. Yeah.
And then it got platted, and then it was a platted lot, right?
Object form.
I guess.
This property, the land covered by Tract H1 and Tract H2 was acreage, then it got platted with your signature on it, Exhibit 15, and it was platted lots, right?
Object form.
I guess so.
If I'm wrong, you feel free to correct me, but I'm just reading what the documents provide. So if I haven't got it right, I wish you would correct me.
Object form.
Did you know that a little later in the year, Friendship, Dana Martin, subdivided the property again? Did you know that?
I don't remember that.
Well, she wouldn't have needed your permission, so it's understandable that you might not have known that she did it.
Object form. Yeah. I'm not as well trained as I said I was.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me show you Exhibit 16. Mr. De La Fuente, would you need to break right now?
A minute or two.
Whenever you just say the word, you got to watch the clock though. Do you see that Exhibit 16 is a subdivision plat? It's been filed and recorded. It's got that same filed and recorded. It's a subdivision plat that divides up tracts H1 and H2 into smaller lots. Do you see that?
Yep.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. Let me show you Exhibit 17.
Now would probably be a good time to break that.
Sure.
We
Let's go
are
off the record.
off the record at 1:59.